Guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajua and I hope this video finds you well. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your support and welcome back. I believe if you are West African, you have come across the word Kayamata at some point, especially if you are Nigerian or Ghanaian or Sierra Leonean, Cameroonian. I think it is widely used among a lot of West Africans, but if you are not, let me just explain to you what Kayamata is, or reported to be, because personally I have never used Kayamata. That is the truth. I have never used Kayamata, but it is reported to be this sort of charm which is supposed to make your man stay or get you a man, or let you have something from your man. I don't know how it works, but that is what people believe it does for them, and they use all manner of charms. But I have some Kayamatas of my own. They are no charms, but they are perfumes. These are fragrances that I have tried and tested. They work for me every single time whenever I want something done in a very like hurriedly, and I'm wearing some of the, let me tell you something, or let's discuss this thing. They talk about pretty privileges all the time. I believe that, based on how you look and your appearance, you get certain favors, you can get some things done in your favor and all those things. But nobody has said the fact that they are perfume privileges. Trust me, they are perfume privileges. You can put yourself together. You don't have to be in the best or the most expensive, hair and dress and shoes and bags. But when you put yourself together and you top it up with a splash of something very nice, especially when it comes to the feminine, gentle, womanly fragrances, they have a way of, influencing people to think of you in a very highly, way, and do certain things they would otherwise not do for people who do not probably wear fragrances. I have tried it, I have experienced it, and I just want to share my experience with you. I call these fragrances my Kayamatas because whenever I wear them, they don't necessarily give me the compliments, not necessarily compliments, but there are some charms about these fragrances which sort of, have an impact on people. It has this sort of very sultry, demure, gentle sort of feel. It makes you exude sort of very lovely, sort of, mature, not really matured. I don't know, how do I even put it, but as soon as you wear certain fragrances, it brings an aura about you, which sort of pulls people in, especially when it comes to your partners. For me, let's say I'm coming to use my partner as an example, that these are the fragrances that whenever I wear around him, it's all about me, it's all about me. He's all over me. He loves these fragrances on me. They work, in the manner that if I want to get his attention, if I want something done, I'm most likely going to be wearing one of these fragrances. This is not the only thing. The fragrances are not the only thing, that will make someone do things for you. It's just like when people say panty droppers, for men. Do they really work? For me, when the man smells good, he smells good. If I like him, I like him for who he is and probably a little bit of his fragrance, but not like if he has not put himself together, he's rude, he's overconfident and he smells good. I don't fall for such, but for me, these are my Kayamatas. These are the fragrances that get things done for me personally, from my experience, tried and tested. And the very first one I have here is Eternal Mask. Never ever underestimate that fragrance. Never underestimate that fragrance. It is not widely popular. It is part of a trio: Eternal Mask, Eternal Coffee, and then Eternal Mildew by Paris Corner. And I think even Eternal Mask is not widely available. I have no idea. But that is a very sensual, musky, sort of creamy, lactonic fragrance that any single time that I want to get cozy, I want to get busy, I want to get like things done my way, I'm pulling that fragrance out. It's very sensual, very captivating. It is not rough, it is not like in your face, it is not loud. From my experience, I don't think those loud, woody, animalic leather fragrances are Kayamatas. Those are the fragrances that you wear when you want to feel confident and you want people to notice you. But if you want to feel very feminine, bring that allure about you, these fragrances actually do it for me, and you might want to try them. Probably they might work for you too. So Eternal Max by Paris Corner, I will highly recommend that. I'm through with my first bottle. I'm going to get a second bottle. Probably it's going to be a lifetime sort of thing for me, because I know what it does for me and I still want to have it in my collection. So that is Eternal Max. Most of the fragrances I'm sharing today are going to be repeats, because these are fragrances that really work for me, in that aspect. And the next one I have here is Junoon Noir by Haramain. Trust me, this one gets the job done. If you know, you know. If you know, you don't have to even say anything. If I want to make a point, or get something in my favor, get something done in my favor, especially when it comes to me and my partner, and I just want to tease him a little bit, I'm wearing something very simple or no makeup, and just a splash of this one, and you smell good, you feel good, you become so approachable, you feel like huggable, you feel like very delicate, sensual, very feminine. Men love feminine women, like nobody, I don't know, maybe I just feel like a lot of men love feminine women, but I might be wrong, but from my experience, no matter how much of a masculine energy I exude in the course of the day, because I want certain things done, as soon as I'm with a man, I'm not bringing any masculine energy around him. I want to be as feminine as possible, as, I don't want to say submissive, but as gentle and womanly as possible around a man. I want him to be the masculine, the alpha. I want to be the I want to feel as feminine as possible, and this one sort of, brings that in me. It makes me feel very polished, like a lady, that sort of very sensual, it gives me that sort of very sensual feel. So I love this one, and it gets the job done for me. So this is Haramain's Junoon Noir. The next one I have here is a powdery floral sort of, sweet one. And this one is Narciso Rodrigo's Rouge. I have the Fragrance World version, which is bears the same name, the same packaging, and they basically smell the same. But this is the OG, or the original Narciso Rodrigo's. This is a very sensual, calm heather, warm, feels like Cashmerean, sort of feel, it's very sensual, very lovely, very womanly. I feel very, it's like I let my guard down anytime I'm wearing this, when you are with a man or your spouse and you feel you can let your guard down, you feel very soft, feminine, gentle. This is it. This is the fragrance. This is the fragrance for those kind of, occasions when you want to start something naughty, when you want to feel very feminine and sensual, want to be as womanly as enough, come across as someone who needs to be rescued but not really. These are the type of fragrances I would gravitate towards, or I would pull. This one, this one is just quite new in my collection, but the Fragrance World version is about some few months, and anytime I pull it out, it never fails to do whatever I want for me. So this is one of my greatest Kayamatas of all time, Rodrigo's Rouge by Paris Corner, by Fragrance World, and then the OG by Narciso Rodrigo's. Those are the fragrances. Then I have another one here, and this one is simply phenomenal. This is very gentle, ladylike. This one is more of going out, fragrance. Sometimes you want to go out, you want to put up your best. This is one of the best. This is simply one of the best. Like, you can't tell me nothing, even if you could disagree with me. I don't want to know, because this is simply one of the best, which is Infin Rose by Alhambra. If you want to be that sort of, very sultry, sensual, command sort of attention in a very subtle way, you go somewhere, people, they don't know who you are, and they'll be just referring to you as, oh, can I get you a drink? Can I get you this? Can I get you that? This is what this fragrance does. This is what this fragrance does. Like, let me put the seats for you, let me get a door for you. This is the fragrance for it. Trust me, this is the fragrance for it. This is much more of going out fragrance, rather than staying indoors. Like, the first previous ones that I have spoken about are much more for when you are inside and want to be intimate and whatever, but this one is much more of a going out, meeting new people, friends, giving them a charm, you know, in a way, and getting things done for you. This is Infin Rose by Alhambra, a very phenomenal chef kiss fragrance. I will highly recommend. This next one might not come as a surprise to a lot of you because I have raved about the other version that I have finished with the Handsome Gold, and this is Reena. I promised myself I wasn't going to go through this one, you know, quickly as much as I did with Handsome Gold, but for me, once it gives me that sort of very cozy, warm, womanly, sultry, gives me, you know, it's like a charm. Honestly, there's a charm about this particular fragrance. You know, forget about Kayamata, forget about panty droppers. You know, nobody wants any of that. This one is the real Kayamata. If you really want to, you know, be with your man, make him feel like a man, you know, whatever, you know, whatever that means to you, you know, but you want to feel as feminine as possible, sort of, you know, give the impression you are dainty and soft and gentle. This is the fragrance. Honestly, it's excellent for like first dates. If you are meeting someone, like the first date, this is excellent because it's not like too much, you know. It gives you a very nice scent bubble around you. He's going to smell you. It's very inviting, very intoxicating. I love this fragrance, you know. I think I am somewhere here after finishing Handsome Gold, and you know, the dents are not lying. I love this fragrance so much. I would highly recommend that. I didn't know I was going to fall so hard for this one, and it actually does the job for me. So I'll highly recommend Reena by Alhambra, or even the other version, Handsome Gold. They are both very phenomenal fragrances. And if you realize, the fragrances that I have finished, you know, which are Handsome Gold, Eternal Mask, and some few more, those are the fragrances that, you know, they do the job for me. So I sort of run through them a lot, you know, and that is why I have finished with those bottles. So Reena is one fragrance that I would highly recommend. The next fragrance I have here is quite a new one in my collection. It's an old fragrance. It's a very, you know, a very popular, I think it was popular like 4 or 5 years ago, you know. I never got it until now, and this is Girl of Now by Elisa, and this is a very lovely one. It's a very feminine orange, you know, blossom, pistachio, nutty, creamy vibe. It's so sexy. It's not even sex, it's so sensual, you know, so sensual and intimate, and you know, very sweet, syrupy, thick, jammy. It's a very sensual one, you know, and I've come to realize that it's a very, you know, a beautiful love potion. Like the bottle is like a charm, you know, and honestly, I've worn this like 2-3 times only, and anytime I wear it, I get compliment from my partner. He loves this fragrance on me, you know. I have realized it is good for both intimate and non-intimate, or when you are going out, you know. It's like best of both worlds. It projects, you know, when you wear it outside, and when you are inside and you wear it too, it's not overwhelming. So this is like a very beautiful love potion. It is sweet. Men love sweet fragrances, as everybody says all the time. It is a no-brainer. You don't have to do too much when you want to impress men, you know, when it comes to fragrances, you know, or a lot of some men, you know. I don't know about any other person, but you know, for my man, he loves this fragrance, and this is Girl of Now by Elisa. The next bottle I have here is finished, you know, but I had to add it to this list, and this one is Helena Exclusive by Fragrance World, you know. A very beautiful interpretation of the OG Helena Exclusive, a powdery, incensey, sort of, you know, woody rose scent with a hint of lychee, you know. That is predominantly what it is. It's a very beautiful one. Honestly, the hype about Helena is real, and it's for a good, you know, a good cause, I should say. This one never fails to give me the attention whenever I wear this one out, you know. You wear this one out, people sort of give you some sort of, it's like they feel like, oh, some lady B, you know, has entered the room. I need to accord her some respect or something, you know. It's one of those pulling the door for you, asking to get you a drink, you know, sort of fragrance. It's a very lovely one, very feminine. And when you go to the bar, for example, the lounges, and you know, by yourself, and men, I don't think men are looking for women who are like, I'm the boss babe, I want to buy my own drinks, I want to do this, and they are wearing let's say a very strong oudie scent at the bar, whereas the men are also wearing the same thing. You know, you have to calculate wherever you are going before you know what to wear, you know. And this one, you know, it does it for me every single time, you know. I've been complimented on this by a lot of men, you know, other than my spouse. I've been complimented about this by a lot of men, you know, because they love the scent. It's a very it's not gentle per se, but it's a very feminine sort of, you know, inoffensive, very lovely, sultry, sort of, you know, almost borderline sexy. I don't consider Helena Exclusive sexy in a way, but very sensual, you know, fragrances. So this is Helena Exclusive by Fragrance World. The next fragrance I would like to talk about is Kenzo Amore by Kenzo. That is a fragrance to behold. It's not really, I don't know, it's never been popular. It's a very affordable designer fragrance. I think I got about 3 years ago. You know, it's supposed to be in the likeness of Hypnotic Poison, without that Play-Doh feel of the OG Hypnotic Poison, but this one has an additional rice note, like a steamed rice, you know, note to it, which is very sensual to me. To me, that, you know, scent, it's very light, quite, you know, intimate, and that sort of vanilla rice pudding, you know, very cuddly, very comforting, you know, has this very comforting appeal about it. It is one that I will pull out, you know, for intimate occasions. I don't necessarily, I would not say, I will not wear it out, you know. I think I've worn it once or twice out, but for the most part, I use it, you know, in the house or indoors, because it gives me that sort of very comforting rice pudding, you know, like when you are sick and you want something warm and comforting to eat. That is a feel that one, you know, gives me. And that sensual sort of vanilla that it has in it with some florals, that is a very beautiful one. It is a very lovely Kayamata, just like the inspiration, or the one he drew inspiration for. I'm not sure which one came first, whether Hypnotic Poison, but I think Kenzo Amore took inspiration from Hypnotic Poison, and Hypnotic Poison is also a very sensual Kayamata, in my opinion. You know, I had Hypnotic Poison first. When I finished that bottle, was then I got Kenzo Amore because it was much cheaper and people had compared it to it. I bought it blindly, and it's not the same 100% per se. Hypnotic Poison is much more of a vanilla, you know, Play-Doh sort of feel, whilst the Kenzo one is much more of that floral rice pudding, you know, and it's like steamed rice, you know, like that sort of very steamed rice, and it gives me an impression of like sex in the tub sort of, you know, feel. That is how Kenzo Amore feels to me, and I love that. So that is one of my greatest Kayamata of all times. The next one I have here, surprisingly, is just a 10 ml of Lama by Kajal that I got some few, I think about a month or two ago. And I've been super impressed by this fragrance, not as a pineapple fragrance. You know, when it comes to pineapple, I don't think I will give it to it, you know, because it doesn't give me a very realistic pineapple scent, but it gives me a very powdery, fruity, rose, sensual, musky sort of, you know, fragrance. And in most instances, those sort of powdery, musky, dried rose, it gives me something like dried, powdery rose. It is very sensual, honestly. Very sensual, but it feels much more of going out, you know, fragrance, and it's been amazing. Honestly, this fragrance has been amazing. Maybe I might get a full bottle, because I think I've seen Joma Shop having a tester bottle. You know, if it's not sold out, I'll check it out for, I think, 74 instead of the OG price being like 130 or so. It is very beautiful, honestly, very beautiful, sensual, unisex, you know, fragrance, but it feels a little bit, you know, feminine to me. I love this. I love this. Honestly, I didn't know I was going to fall so hard for it. I love it, but not as a photorealistic pineapple scent, but as a very sensual, dried, you know, rose, like dried, pounded or grounded rose, you know, with some fruits, you know. I don't know, that's how it feels to me, and I love this, you know, particular fragrance. It is a Kayamata, trust me. I've worn this around my man, my partner, and he absolutely loved this fragrance. You know, he tells me to wear this fragrance. You know, he was like, that fragrance, that, you know, go and wear that one. He loves it so much. He requested for me to wear this fragrance once, and I was so surprised because I didn't think he was going to like it that much. So when he asked me to pull this particular fragrance, you know, out, I was like, okay, you know, if you like like it, then I love it, and I don't love it because he loves it, per se, but once I feel like if he likes it, why not, it just, if he likes it, I like it. That is how it works for me, so this is Lama by Kajal. Then the next one I have here is a very affordable, simple, yet very effective, girly Kayamata, and that fragrance is Berry's Weekend by Fragrance World. Nobody needs to miss out on Fragrance World, fragrances, especially Berry's Weekend. I love that fragrance. It's a very, very girly, chippy. You can douse yourself in it. A very lovely one. It never fails to give me compliments. It never fails to, it makes me feel young, it makes me feel young and girly and soft and feminine. That is basically what Berry's Weekend, do to me. I love it. I get compliments from men, it's never failed to give me some compliments, at least 1 or 2 compliments when I wear Berry's Weekend. So it's a charm for men. Men seem to love that particular fragrance, very affordable, and I don't want anyone to miss out on it. I know it's something that has been out for like years and years, and almost everybody probably has it or have it by now. So continue to rock it. I love that fragrance. I'll highly recommend. If you have not checked it out yet, check out Berry's Weekend by Fragrance World. It's a very highly complimented fragrance by men, and men seem to love this fragrance on a lot of women. And the last one I have here is a body mist by Bath and Body Works, and this is Orange Vanilla Twist. What a beautiful scent. It's a very delicious gourmand scent with some whipped cream, some vanilla, and then orange, I think orange blossom, a very realistic combination, a very true realistic gourmand whipped cream. So it's quite fluffy, then it's sweet with the orange. It gives you something like an orange popsicle, filled with some whipped cream and some vanilla. It is a very delicious scent and very affordable too. I mean, it's one of my favorite body mates. I don't necessarily do a lot of body mates, but it's one of those body mates which have really made an impression on me over the last couple of years. I love that fragrance. It is very sensual, very playful. It's nothing matured and serious, very playful, but also quite matured, in a way, not too playful in a way that it becomes juvenile. These fragrances simply work for me. They are nothing too complicated. They are nothing too out there. They are nothing potent, beast mode in your face. It's like subtle but gentle, prominent, in a way. It's like, okay, so who is she? Where is she coming from? What does she do? What is she trying to do to me? Is she trying to seduce me? Is she looking for my attention? That kind of thing. But it's not like in your face, like come here, I want you. It sets the tone, it gives the message, and any good partner will catch the signal. So yeah, that is all I have for you today, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Let me know which fragrances you have in your collection that are Kayamatas for you. Fragrances that whenever you wear it, it's like it mesmerizes people around you, or it sort of in a way influences people to do things for you, that they would otherwise ordinarily not do for you. Fragrances have a way of doing that, trust me. So if you think I guess wearing fragrances just for compliment, no, they have different roles, or a lot of roles to play, depending on what we really want to do and what we you have to be intentional about it. You have to be very intentional about some of these things, like what you are going to wear, the hair you're going to wear, the dress you're going to wear, the makeup and the fragrance, and who you are seeking to attract, and it's a whole lot, and fragrances have a way of doing that for us. So that is all I have for you. Let me know which fragrances you deem as your Kayamatas, because these are my Kayamatas in my current collection. I think there are others that I can talk about, but these are my 10 for now. So I hope to see you in my next video, and I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.